So Robbie, great to catch up with you. Pre-season's now done. How much are you looking forward to the new campaign?
Yeah, really excited, Bob. We've had a real positive pre-season, some good performances. All the results haven't gone our way, but it's been really pleasing to see how the new players have integrated into the squad. There's been some brilliant individual performances, good team performances. The way we're going to play is a pressing style of football. I think we've implemented that really well, and it's been a very, very positive pre-season.
You mentioned about your style of play. You brought your Backroom staff in to help you achieve that. Just talk us through the people you brought in and how they will complement each other.
Yeah, so I brought John McMahon in as assistant head coach. John's got plenty of league experience, pro licensed coach, played for Macclesfield Town many years ago. But he was at the club under Danny Whittaker, and when he come in, I think it was in our first season, in the latter stages, in the 4-2-3-1 system, and he enhanced what we were doing as a football club. He was brilliant. He understood us, and he's been brilliant so far for us. Peter Band, everybody knows Bandy. He's a great around the dressing room. And Emil Heskey, who's on a ad hoc basis, will come in and help the strikers, work commitments with Emil. If it's once a month, 3 times a month, 6 times a month, every little bit of ounce of his knowledge you can pass on to our strikers will be invaluable. So he's been great for us. He's been in 2 or 3 times already. So again, to have that staff, also, Danny stayed, Nick, our fitness coach, Marissa. We've got some brilliant people at the football club, and we're going to do everything we can to get Macclesfield promoted.
One thing that pre-season has allowed us to do is experiment with formations. Have you got preferred ones yet, or are the merits of different ones and you'll kind of chop and change depending on opposition and the game?
Yeah, predominantly the 4-2-3-1 has worked really well for us. I believe we got 2 of the best 10s outside the National League, and John Mooney and Alex Curran. The amount of goals and assists they got last year. Alex wasn't fully fit for the most of the season, contributed over 20 goals, as did John. And the recruitment was basically to see how we could get Alex and John into the side as 2 10s. So that's why we experimented with a 3-4-2-1, the box in midfield. If you remember, we played it at Marine earlier in the season when we had a terrific performance. But what that did, with the recruitment of JJ and Duffs, who missed quite a part of the back end of the season with that ankle damage, that took away from them slightly, because in that shape they become wing backs and you lost a bit of their creativity going forward. Playing a back three is difficult. You've got to work on it so many times, and it worked at times, but we just looked a little bit vulnerable down the sides. So again, we tried a 4-4-2 with Tom and Danny up top, which had an instant impact because we got the penalty against Buxton, a wonderful save from the goalkeeper, and also we know how to play the 4-2-3-1. So again, we've experimented. I think we need plan A, B and C going forward this season. We've got players who can play multiple positions, and it's been really positive. But the 4-2-3-1 or the 4-3-3 I really like. I think the big thing is everybody's seen Paul Dawson as a centre half. Everybody sees Dawson as a dynamic midfield player, and he is. But I think Dawson's played there numerous times previously as a centre half for previous clubs. His range of passing is immense, his aggression, his leadership qualities with Mendy's. So those 2 back there have been absolutely brilliant. Speaking to other managers of other teams we've played, they can't believe that's a new partnership. There will be times, if we're chasing games, that I can go with 2 8s. I can bring on centre halves, and I can put Dawson, Mendy's 2 8s with 1 6 in a 4-3-3. So within the squad, there are options for different formations. So I'm well aware of it. We've worked on all of them, and what a tough test it will be for the first game. A Worksop side, brilliant side, beat us twice last year, one of the favourites to go up. Beat us there last year. I thought we played really well there last year. Unlucky not to get anything, but it's a tough test against a tough team. They were very humble in defeating the playoff semi-final. We know it's going to be a difficult game, but the lads are ready.
In terms of recruitment, there can be no doubt in the quality of player that we've brought in over the summer. But in terms of quantity, are you happy with the squad size as things stand?
Yeah, the board have been great in terms of allowing us to get the players we wanted to get in. Danny Elliott could have gone higher. A lot of people say, is Danny better suited to a 2? But he's played as a 1 as that night on multiple occasions. And in training he's brilliant, he's dynamic, he's powerful, and he's done really well in pre-season. So he was one of the first we wanted. Elliot Whitehouse and Danny Whitehead, great experience. We knew that. The average age of the squad, I think, is now 25.9. It's gone up by a year, having lost a few players. So again, that was huge for us. 2 players who have played higher. Justin Johnson, JJ, who's come in and when he gets the ball 1v1, there's not many better. Was in the National League North Team of the Year, so he's been fantastic. And then bringing in 2 goalkeepers. We had numerous goalkeepers last year for various reasons. So Max and Tom have come in. Max, will start at workshop. We know what we're going to expect. It's going to be, direct. Max is going to have to come and claim things, and we're going to have to be aggressive in the way we play. And there's been, Keelan Adams, Tom Clare, who's back. So again, the recruitment process has been good. Without the board's backing, we couldn't have done that. So again, I'm really pleased, and what the group allows us to do in terms of the way we want to play is the high press, aggressive, win the ball back in the opposition's final third. I'm not a big believer in playing out. My beliefs are that, of course, you want to at times look good, but for me, play forward early, get the ball into our more creative players as early as you can, and win the ball high. By doing that, you're close to the opponent's goal. And if you keep playing the ball around the back, because we will take risks. We will take risks, and that's our mentality, to take risks, especially with the players we have, in the back. Because let's be fair, Trey and Kenji are wingers. Dawson, Mendy are midfielders, although Mendy started as a right back. But we've got Scott Holden, who's done great, Sam and Brandon Lee and Lewis Fensom. So therefore, natural defenders, and everybody will be used. I think the squad, you mentioned quantity, the worry is if you get a few injuries, like Sam's not played a game yet, Brandon Lee's going to be out for a bit longer. If you get 2 or 3 injuries, it does limit you, but the quantity is a good number. 19, 20. A few of the young players have come in and done unbelievably well, and again, I went to Leek to watch our B-Tech against Stoke, because there's a real pathway for young players now at our football club because of the quality. So again, we're really happy.
So in terms of kind of like some of the U-team players, we've seen some of them in the pre-season friendlies already, but to what extent is the door massively open for them to come in and make an impact when needed in the first team?
Yeah, well, Jefferson and Bassett, who played full backs at Wythenshawe, tough place to go, fantastic team. They were brilliant, and with Brandon's injury, Kenji's done unbelievably well at left back. I said to Bassett, if Kenji was to get injured and we play the 4, you will play. It's as simple as that. Jefferson was great. You look at his characteristics. He's very similar to Trey. His pace, his directness. They've listened. They've bought into how we want to play. Carlos, as well. Jamie Walker, Henry. I could name, a lot more. Harry. And what we've done is, we've sent a few out to Newcastle Town. That might get announced in the near future. Neil Baker, who we all know really well, because that will give them experience of playing one level below, and if called upon, we'll call them back. So again, there is a real pathway there now for our young players. Obviously my youngsters in the 21s, I'll be watching them as well to see if anybody can make the step up.
More generally, let's be honest, there's only one objective this season, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, and I'm under no illusion whatsoever, Bob, that it has to be promotion, whether that's through the playoffs or winning the league. We have to go one better than last year. We were so close, magnificent effort last year. Get to an FA Trophy semi-final, 2 promotions in 3 years, a playoff final, where the club's come, the amount of hours, dedication that everybody's put in, the willingness to get us up. But I know there'll be a lot of people out there who want us to fail once again, even more so now. I know, the disappointing thing is, even, reading some comments, there's some Mac fans who want me to fail, which hurts a little bit, considering the amount of time and effort myself, Rob, and the directors have put into the football club. I see people saying I've been sacked for my day jobs. Nothing far from the truth. My employees have been magnificent in terms of enabling me to do this. But again, this is what you get online. That's if you, I try and avoid that now. But it's difficult. It's difficult because I'm human. I've got a family who look at stuff as well, and it hurts them. But I think people have got to realise that, we're going to give our best shot. No stone will be unturned. But I understand 2 defeats in a row. The chance will be you're getting sacked in the morning. You're going to sack yourself. I understand it all. I've been through so much in my own career, being told I wasn't good enough, wasn't quick enough, wasn't big enough, I was too small. But out of adversity, that fuels me. I've been told, why am I doing it by several people, but I'm doing it because I care, and I believe. I believe with the staff around me I've got and the players we've recruited that we're in this together, and the rewards will be there for everybody.
So I've one question which interests me is, in your previous role as director of football, you judged all previous first team managers, first team head coaches. Now that you are the first team head coach, who's going to judge you?
It's a fair question, Bob. The director of football role is no longer. I'll have a board to answer to. People say, well, he's on the board, but I think I'm well aware, Bob. I'm well aware and experienced enough to know that when my time will be up, judge us because it's us on results, and if the results aren't good enough, I'm sure that in no uncertain terms, away fans, Mac fans will be telling me. And I totally understand it. And listen, will I get a bit more leeway because of the situation? Who knows? But I know that group's good enough to get up. We start as favourites, rightly so. And I'm happy with that. I think we should embrace it. I think we should relish it. I think the lads are well aware of the situation. The lads have been great. But, the fans will judge me. I think that's what will happen, and as I say, judge me on results. And if I don't get the results, I am fully aware that I will no longer be the head coach at Macclesfield. And and then the thing is, can you step back into the football? No, I probably couldn't. So, I then just become, probably an owner, sit back on a day-to-day basis. So I know everything's on the line, everything. For the last 3 years I've been there every day. I see people say, how can he commit 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? I've done that. Everybody who knows me knows that, I've put my heart and soul into it. And I think that by taking this opportunity, I know that if I fail, my time at Mac is done. And, that is a big thing, and I could have left, and only time will tell if this proves to be the right decision. But one thing's for sure, mate, I'm going to give everything I can.
All starts on Saturday, doesn't it? Really difficult test, as you've alluded to before, but also a great opportunity to make a statement right on day one.
Yeah, when the fixtures come out, we were magnificent in the semi-final against Worksop. It was one of our best performances of the season. Who previously beaten us twice in the league. They're a good side, good experience, aggressive, good in set pieces. We've done our homework, we've done our due diligence, we know all about them, and they will be up there, as we will be. And when the fixture come out, people say, tough game for Mac. It's a tough game for Worksop as well. Let's not forget that. You know, I think nobody wants to play us, you know, or everybody wants to play us because they want to beat us, they want to show how good they are, they want to upset us, but the biggest thing we need to do is stick together. Tough start, we know that, but it's a 42 game season, and I honestly believe that with the group we will, as I said at the start of last season, minimum is playoffs. Minimum is playoffs, and the objective is to win the league, to have a good start, or to get up through the playoffs. And if I don't do that, or it's not going that way, I think we all know what will happen.
And just finally, you mentioned about sticking together. One thing you can be assured of on Saturday is a large and vocal away following. How important will the Mag fans be, not just on Saturday, but for the entire season?
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you, that there's a little bit of nervousness from myself, you know, because of, you know, I do read stuff and stuff sent to me, and I understand, you know, the situation. So again, you know, if some Mac fans aren't behind me, you know, get behind the team, get behind the club, get behind Rob, who's worked unbelievably hard to get the club to where it is. We've had investment, you know, from good people who care. So I'd urge the Mac fans, who, you know, 99% are amazing and will be so supportive. And if I can turn that 1% around, it might be more than 1%, to back me and the lads, then hopefully we can have a successful season. But there will be a little bit of nervousness, because listen, we will get beat this season at times, but what a statement would be going to Worksop and putting a marker down for the rest of the league. It's probably the toughest place to go in the league, but this is what it's about. These are the games you want to be involved in. Everybody's talking about it, probably be a sellout, huge following, but yeah, there will be a little bit of nerves, you know, but without those nerves it wouldn't be the same. It's a great feeling, but again, the season's not going to be won or lost on Saturday. Of course I want to get the 3 points, we want to get the 3 points, but if we don't, we go Tuesday, Saturday, 2 home games, but if we can get off to a good start, right Radcliffe did last year, you know, it'll be great. So we're looking forward to it.
Wish you all the best, mate.